Did you enjoy Spine Display? He will be back, don't worry. At this point in the display, he actually has the freedom to go wherever he wants to. Here he comes. Changed his mind again. Wasn't quite ready to catch him, were you, Natalie? So he has the freedom to go anywhere that he wants to. Because Birdworld is set in all these lovely established grounds, you aren't always going to be able to see him. And we do appreciate it if you do point if you see him coming. Because he has got a favourite game, which is a game called Chicken. Basically, the rules are very simple. He flies at you. You duck, okay? Now, to be honest, you guys in the arena, you're quite safe. It's normally the people on the outside of the arena. They think they're safe because they're outside. You're the targets for this game, so just be aware of that. But to be honest, it's normally with us. So do point if you see him coming. Now, he is coming along nice and close to you. He's going to do a bit of flying in the arena, but he will also do some nice big flights again as well. He is a member of the parrot family. It's one of the largest types of parrot. He is what's known as a macaw. And there's about 17 living species of macaw, and it's pretty easy to remember which one he is by looking at his two main colours. So he is a blue and yellow, or slightly fancier name of blue and gold macaw. And they all tend to be found out in the tropical forests of South America, so in particular the Amazon rainforest, where they are very social birds. They live in quite large family groups, but sometimes that can be a mix of species as well. And they all roost together in one location. And then around dawn, that's probably when they're going to stretch their wings, they're going to get ready for the day. And they'll fly up out of the forest as a group and along the top of the tree line. They'll probably be looking down the whole time, looking for somewhere good to land and spend the rest of the day foraging. And they will return to that same roost site around dusk. Now, most of the day, he actually gets about in the trees in a different way. He's actually a really good climber, and he's got some very special feet, which maybe he'll show those guys his feet first of all. Really special feet to help him climb. Hopefully he'll give you a bit of a wave and you can have a little look. And then hopefully he'll fly over here so I can show you guys as well. Charlie has actually only got 4 toes, so missing a toe compared to us humans. But that is not a problem for him. Very quick on this side. It's the arrangement of the toes that's important. So it's called zygodactyl, and it basically means that he's got 2 toes facing forwards and he's got 2 toes facing backwards. So his foot makes a C shape, which makes him very good at gripping onto things. He does also use that beak for climbing. Kind of helps pull himself up on the branches, really. Now, a big distinctive feature of a macaw is this nice long tail. So he will use that for balance when he's climbing about in the trees, but in flight it's even more important. So if we send him up on a nice big flight, we need to have a little look at his tail in action. It's a bit like a rudder on a boat, so he uses it to steer and change direction. They can reach speeds of 20, 30 miles per hour, pretty fast. They need to be able to slow down. So as he comes into land, he's going to fan all his tail feathers out. So watch him. Oh, no, he wants to do one more loop today, apparently. Watch him as he gets closer to Natalie, and you should see that he's fanning those feathers out. So he's coming in now, fanning them out, and that's him putting the brakes on, basically, so he can land safely onto Natalie. Now, his beak also has a very important role. Although it uses it for climbing, its main purpose is for opening the hard shells on nuts, and even sometimes the tougher skins on fruits. They are browsers, so they eat little amounts of food, but often throughout the day, and all things that are easily found up in the trees, so fruits, nuts and seeds really, is the main part of their diet. So his beak is basically a mobile nutcracker. He can bite as hard as any dog in the world. It's actually half the pressure of a lion's bite. So if Charlie really wanted to, he could bite off one of our fingers. That would not be a problem for him. He also has a very helpful tongue. Parrots' tongues are different because they actually contain a bone, which makes them very dexterous. So they move in kind of a similar way to our thumbs, really. So he can kind of peel anything off that he doesn't want to eat. So overall, really quite helpful when it comes to eating those fruits and nuts. Now, something we like to mention about parrots is a little bit about keeping them as pets, because we know, particularly after coming to Birdworld, particularly younger members of the audience, could be influenced into getting a pet parrot. There are lots of things to consider. Firstly, they live for an incredibly long time. Charlie actually just had his 11th birthday, but the average age for a macaw is going to be 70 or 80 years old. And the oldest macaw that we know about on record was actually 106. So that's an incredibly long time to commit to looking after a pet. So there's a really good chance that he's going to end up living longer than you do. We get quite a lot of parrot owners explaining how they've written them into their wills. The other thing is they are very clever. They have got the mental age of a 3-year-old. So I'm pretty sure most of you can imagine what it would be like to live with a 3-year-old in your house for the rest of your life. Yes, nervous laughter. Now the other thing that's quite important is that they will form very strong bonds with particular people. They tend to prefer either males or females. Now Charlie, he's a ladies' parrot, he prefers girls. You'll notice that Jack has disappeared to the back over there, and that's Jack's, well, you know, Jack's very nice to Charlie, but just the pure fact that he is a bloke is a little bit of an issue, really. But even so, even the girls amongst us have problems with Charlie sometimes. There's a kind of hierarchy of who he likes best amongst us. So, his favourite person in the whole wide world is Natalie, over there. He would like Natalie to be his girlfriend. Despite many a regurgitated peanut in her ear, she's still declined. She's quite a hard girl to impress, is Natalie. So if you had one as a pet, they're going to favour one member of your family and be absolutely horrible to the rest. Again, it's another story that we get told quite often here at Birdworld. So lots of things to consider. The time, space and energy that you're going to have to put into these guys. So we just like to kind of push that message, really. Now, we're going to get Charlie to do his last big flight, and for that we need a little bit of encouragement from you guys. So it is audience participation time. Normally the crowd goes wild at that point. No? Just humour me for the next few minutes, okay? All we want you to do is shout in a very loud voice, ready, steady, go. It's really one for the kids, but there's quite a lot of adults I noticed today, so you guys are going to be joining in as well. Just go for it, it's not embarrassing, it's good fun. Natalie actually has the hard task because she's got to run across the arena and launch Charlie up into the air. And Natalie's not a huge fan of running, but she's promised that she will run very fast if you guys shout really loud. So, do you reckon you can do that for me? Yes! That was your warm-up, okay? I'm expecting the real thing to be a bit louder. That's our kookaburras having a little bit of a laugh at the back there. So, are you ready to run, Natalie? I'm not sure Charlie's ready. He's enjoying quite a scratch at the moment, isn't he? Let's, Charlie, get ready to go, okay? Right, all together then. Ready! Steady! Go! You didn't even have to run very far at all for that. Well done. So this is going to be Charlie's last flight. So this one, when he comes into land, I want you to give him a nice big round of applause, but only as he's landing. Otherwise, he flies round and milks it, okay? So hopefully on this one, as he's getting a bit closer, probably about now, give him a nice big round of applause. And just have a little look at his face as he's nice and close to you, because when macaws are excited, they will actually blush red in their normally white cheeks. So the sound of your applause is pretty exciting to Charlie. So if you'd like to give him another one, you can really appreciate the goodness of his cheeks. If I can have your attention before you all start leaving for a minute longer, I will be really grateful. Firstly,